Hi, and welcome to the second video of Polish at Leeds Trinity. In the previous video, I was explaining how the pronunciations of English and Polish letters differ from each other, and how to properly pronounce them. In this video, I'll be talking about the main 7 Polish digraphs. I'd recommend watching the previous video, as many of these digraphs use letters and sounds that I've already covered. Now, quite a few of you probably don't know what I'm talking about when I say digraph. The simple answer is that a digraph is a combination of 2 letters that represent one sound. The English language has quite a few of those, and they all make a variety of sounds. The Polish language also has digraphs, and here are some examples. These are the digraphs that I'll be going over in this video. First off, I'll start with the CH digraph. You may think that this digraph will sound like the English ch sound. However, you'd be wrong, and to those of you who have watched the previous video, it's a bit more confusing than you think. This CH digraph is pronounced exactly like a normal H. This can get confusing at times, as unless you know how to spell the word correctly, there's no other way to know whether it is spelled with a normal H or the digraph. An example of this digraph being used in a word is chleb, which means bread in English. This digraph is pronounced as ch, and it's quite similar to the English digraph of ch. The only difference being is that it is a harder sound. To achieve the right pronunciation, you must slightly curl your tongue upwards. Ch, ch. An example of this digraph being used in a word is cztery, which means 4 in English. This digraph is pronounced as zh, and it sounds identical to the Polish z with the dot diacritic. Like with the ch digraph, spelling can be very difficult, and sometimes there are words that sound exactly the same but mean 2 different things because of how they are spelt. The Polish word for see is spelt with the digraph, and the word for maybe is spelt with the diacritic, but both sound exactly the same. Może. The closest English pronunciation of this digraph is the S in treasure. This digraph has some similarities in pronunciation to the English SH digraph, with it being pronounced in a harder tone. It is pronounced as sh, and an example of this digraph being used in a word is szkoła, which means school in English. This is the first of 3 D digraphs that use Z's. The other 2 use Z's with diacritics. This one is pronounced as dz, and it sounds similar to the 2 D's and S in the word ads. An example of this digraph being used in a word is dzwon, which means bell in English. This is the second D digraph, and it uses the Z with the dash diacritic. It is pronounced as j, and it sounds quite similar to the J in the word jeans. An example of this digraph being used in a word is niedźwiedź, which means bear in English. This is the last D digraph, and it uses the Z with the dot diacritic, and it is pronounced as j. There isn't a sound in the English language that sounds the same as this, however it is quite similar to the J in jam, just pronounced harder. An example of this digraph being used in a word is dżungla, which means jungle in English. This was the last digraph of this video, so now I'll go over some words that use more than one digraph and some diacritics. This is the way that Warsaw is spelt in Polish. As you can see, it contains the sh digraph. It is pronounced as Warszawa. Warszawa. This is the Polish word for beetle. It contains 4 different digraphs as well as 1 letter with a diacritic. It is pronounced as chrząszcz. Chrząszcz. This is another place name, and it uses 2 digraphs and 1 letter with a diacritic. It is pronounced as Wałbrzych. Wałbrzych. This is the Polish word for happiness, and it uses 2 digraphs and 2 letters with diacritics. It is pronounced as szczęście. Szczęście. That's all for this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, check out the Leeds Trinity YouTube channel at Leeds Trinity. Thanks for watching and goodbye. or as they say in Poland, do widzenia.